In this video, I'm going to simplify expressions using commutative and associative properties. So in this first example, we have negative 45a plus 15 plus 45a. Because I have addition and no other operation in this expression, I can apply commutative property, meaning I can move my terms that are similar and then simplify. So I have a negative 45a and a positive 45a. If I combine those, negative 45a plus 45a, that's going to basically cancel each other out, and I'm left with 0 plus 15. And my answer in this case would just be 15. Now, in this sort of scenario, you can easily see that we're canceling out this term, but I just wanted to show you what that would look like as we apply commutative property. Let's look at some other examples. In this one, we have 1/4 plus 3/8 plus 3/4. Now, instead of just finding a common denominator and adding from left to right, we could apply commutative property and combine the terms that look similar. I have a positive 1/4 and a positive 3/4. So if I add those together, I get 1/4 plus 3/4, and then I can add the 3/8. 1/4 plus 3/4 is going to give me 4/4. 4/4 plus 3/8. Now 4/4 can be simplified to 1, and so that would be 1 plus 3/8 or 1 3/8. Notice in this situation, I didn't have to convert fourths to eighths. Let's look at an example with decimals. We might have a group of 4 33/100 times p, or 4.33 p plus 1.09 p in parentheses, and then we're going to add to that 3.91 p. Notice we have addition, and the way we've grouped this here, we're going to get, maybe if we're going to do some mental math, this might be harder to do than, say, if we grouped these two numbers. So if I rewrite it as 4.33p plus the quantity of 1.09p plus 3.91p, this part here added to this part is going to give me a whole number. And so I'm going to be left with 5p, and then I can add easily the 4.33p to 5, giving me 9.33p. So regrouping comes in handy when you want to make the problem easier to solve. Okay, let's look at some other problems. And these will focus on multiplication. Let's say we have 3/20 times 49/11 times 20/3. Because of commutative property, we could move this closer to the 3/20ths and then do some canceling. So instead of writing it this way, I've got 3/20ths times 20/3 times 49/11ths. These are going to cancel. 1 over 1 is the same thing as 1. 1 times 49/11ths is 49/11ths. So this is going to, if I were to change it to a mixed number, become 4 and 5/11ths. Now, when you are multiplying, say you had this problem, because commutative property is a thing with multiplication, you could just do the reducing this way, as long as you're going diagonally or up and down. You're going to get the same answer. But this is why we're using commutative property. Okay, let's look at another example. Here we have negative 24 times 7 times 3/8. Well, I know that 24 and 3/8, I can do some reducing here. So I'm going to change the order here. Instead, I'll write negative 24 over 1 times 3/8 times 7. I can reduce here. 8 goes into 24 3 times, so that's a negative 3. That's a 1. I'm now left with negative 3. So if I rewrite this, I've got negative 3 times 3 times 7. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9 times 7, which is going to give me a negative 63. And let's do one with decimals. In this case, we have 2.48 times 12 times 0.5. Now, this is like multiplying by 1/2, and it's much easier to multiply 1/2 to a whole number than it is to a mixed number. So I'm going to apply associative property. Instead of combining these two first, I'm going to multiply the 12 and the 0.5. So that's going to be written as 2.48 times 12 times 0.5. This is going to give me 6. 2.48 times 6, and I'm going to have to do a little math on the side because I don't know what that is off the top of my head. It's 48. That's going to be 24, 28, and 12, 14. 1488. 48 more, 24, 28. Okay, so that's a positive 14.88. Okay, the last problem that we're going to look at, say we have a negative 15 times 5m. Because we don't know the value of m, I'm going to apply associative property and instead multiply the negative 15 to the 5 and then multiply the m. So I guess you could group it like this and then multiply it by m. So negative 15 times 5 is negative 75m.